Hey, it's Don here from The Board. Thank you for checking out another one of our videos. In this video, I'm finally going to get around to flashing my GhettoDox. So there's been a couple of different videos already before where I've gone through opening up the group by package that contained my ergodox pieces. I've gone through some of the pitfalls that I encountered when I actually put my ergodox together, and so in this video I'm going to go over using a very simple but very effective web tool on how to actually set up your layout for programming an ergodox, and I'm also going to flash it using the Teensy Loader. So let's get right into it. Now the community has kind of spoken, albeit very softly, but the sign will stay for now. If you do think I need to have a graphical, I suppose, introduction overlay slide or something like that, please do leave your comments. But I kind of like the sign, and I know that some of the other guys have also said so. And for you, Robbie, it is still something that I'll keep in mind, but because it's not exactly a professional outfit, I think it's kind of nice at least to be a little bit handmade, homegrown for the time being. So I'm just going to clear a little bit of space, if I can, on my desk, and we can check out the GhettoDox. So here is the final, I suppose, board that I've got with my cheapo Asian eBay TRRS cable. You can see that I've actually filled it using some grab bag keys, and I've done the ghetto thing, which is to put a bit of magic tape, and then I've written on top of the magic tape, and then I've covered with another layer of magic tape so that I won't actually rub off the legends. I've only done the numero as well as the alphas simply because they're not going to be changing. The other keys though might be changing depending on how I feel with the layout that I'll initially flash, and of course this gives me the flexibility to change it however I like. I call this the GhettoDox because obviously there's a bit of unicorn happening here, and it's obviously Ghetto having the tape and the writing on the tape, but also my mounting choices are a little bit different. I did say that I was getting some brass fittings, and my brass fittings have arrived. So what I've got here is I've got some knurled nuts as well as some brass bolts and washers, and you can see from the side-on profile that there's actually quite a good sort of height and lift with that. And what I've done is on the rear of it I've actually used the actual nut, but then at the front I've actually got the bolt section flat down, and the nut is actually, you can kind of see it there, is on the other side. And that way I still retain the weight, but I do get a bit of a tilt happening. It's not very much, it's a subtle tilt, but there's a little bit of a tilt which is enough. It does slide very easily on smooth surfaces, but at work, which I will take this in to try at some point, I have a mat which should give it a little bit more texture. I don't have quite a solution yet, but I have been told maybe I should consider getting some of those stick-on clear bump-ons, which then I would just put on these bottom flat brass ones to stop the slide. And obviously I've also repeated that on the other side, matching it. So it's got a good amount of heft to it on each side, and it does have that sort of exposed look about it. And this was just a really cheap TRRS cable on eBay. I do hope it works. I haven't really done anything with it, so we'll just have to wait and see. So let's just jack that in. It's quite long. I did kind of mention that, maybe I didn't mention, I can't remember, it's been so long now, but I had problems deciding what length of cable to get because either it was very short, 15 centimeters, or it was very long. I was kind of looking for maybe around a 30 even, but that wasn't a choice, and this is like, yeah, I think almost 3 feet of cable. At some point I'll have to figure out what I can do with it. I don't know, maybe just twist it up or something, tape it, I don't know. Maybe if I have a bit of spare money I could get a custom cable to the length coiled or something like that, but it's cheap, it works hopefully, and we can get on programming. Now I'm going to switch over to my monitor. There we go. And I'm going to switch off the camera so I'm not being super distracting on either of them. And let's check out this TMK config tool. Now you can see up here at the top, it's just minivan.config.thevankeyboards.com. It's pretty cool. It has a complete layout of an GhettoDox, as you can see, because up here I've got the GhettoDox set, but there are a couple of different keyboards that Evan has already programmed in, including the popular Minorca as well as the offerings from the Van keyboards, and it also has different layout options if that particular keyboard has different layout options. You'll see there's base layers and then there's numbered layers, and you can keep adding layers if you want to. Down here with the add layer button, on the side it shows you all the different keys and commands that you can actually have. And I've already preset this layout and I've already saved the hex of it, so it's not really that big a deal for me to play with. What you can do is you click on it with both your left and your rights. The left selects which key that you're actually talking about, and the right brings up a menu option which allows you to select what the actual character is, and so you'll see the actual menu of the different options of the key press, and you can also select the type. So normal means just a single key press, that's it, but you can also have toggles, a momentary, a tap key, one-shot modifiers, and you can also have some which options are about for this particular configuring tool to clear that layer or set it as the default layer. Now you'll notice here they've got these little red corners, and that is kind of like a layout layer indicator, which is really nifty, helps you visualize what's going on. And so what I've done is I've set this key where my caps lock normally would be on a 60% default as my layer 2 modifier, and then this key down here as my layer 1 modifier, and both are on my left hand because that's just how I'm going to test it for the moment. And there's my layer 1. So if I press the layer 1 button, my left hand becomes the F block, and all of these are just nothing's happening, or they're transparent, and these keys on the right hand side become my numpad. So there's my zeros in case I hit the wrong zero, and then I've got enter, plus, minus, asterisk or multiply, and then there's my divide. And then for the shift, which will also work as normal, but then for layer 2 where my caps lock is, I will get my shift keys for my num row, which becomes my standard, exclamation mark, @ sign, so on and so forth. And it will also give me, have I got it right? I've got some arrow keys happening somewhere, don't I? Did I? Alright, so there's the remainder of my shift keys, which no, I don't seem to have arrow keys at the moment, but that's okay. Let's try running an example with some arrow keys. No, I do. Here we go. They were just in text. For some reason or other, my mind was blanking out, and I was thinking I'd actually see arrow symbols, the up, down, left, rights. So if I press down on the layer 2 key over here, then I'll also get the up, down, left, right in the familiar-ish kind of config setting. Though, I guess I probably could have shifted it a little bit more to the middle, so it would have been over here. But at the moment, I think we'll just give that a try. Now, when you're happy with the actual layout, there's two options. You can see it will actually generate it in text here. You can also make the hex file, and you can also load different configs as well, or you can reset to default and try playing with it. And you'll see Evan's got a log down here which basically says what's been changed about this tool. Now I've saved this log file, so because it does take I don't know, maybe 20-30 seconds to do that, we're not going to bother, and we're going to go straight into using the Teensy Loader. So I'm not using a Pro Marco, which means having an authentic Teensy, in theory, I can use the Teensy Loader. I'm using Windows, so I'm using the actual Windows support page, and the Teensy Loader is a very simple program that you just download one file. It comes up with this tiny little box. You can plug in your board, and you can press the push button, and the loader should load up. The Teensy should be flashing, and these buttons, the green buttons over here in the middle, will essentially say you're connected, and you can press on one to load the actual, to open the hex file, then you can actually load it, and then you can, I think, reset or reboot, and away it goes. So let's give that a try. Now I do actually have the Teensy Loader already open in the background here. So there's the Teensy Loader. You'll see that nothing's happening at the moment, and if I switch to my table screen, I don't have a USB plugged in or anything. So let's get my USB, and let's see, which way does it go? There we go. So the Teensy is flashing, which is good, which is very good. And let's go back to my monitor. There's the monitor, and I'm going to press the button. I'm just going to move that slightly so you can kind of just see it in the on the side over here. There's the button of the Teensy, and let's press that button, and voila, check it out. So the Teensy Loader has actually loaded the particular Teensy, and you can see that I've got the program and the reboot icons are now showing, which is great. And also I can set to automatic mode. We're not going to go automatic mode for the moment, but let's just open the hex file. And there's my GhettoDox hex file that I've set. Let's open that. Now, it's very fast in loading because there's not a lot of code in it, but if you did actually do a lot of coding, it might take a little bit, and you'll see at the bottom it actually does come up with the pop-up saying that that particular hex is loaded, and my Teensy onboard memory, 71% of that storage space is used. So let's hit program, and oh, check it out, download complete. And let's hit reboot, and the reboot is good. Okay, exciting, exciting. Now I'm going to open up a notepad. Let's check it out, notepad, and drag the notepad over, and let's see if it did the job. Oh, there's an A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Alright, so our base works. Okay, that's a tilde. There's some things are happening here. A spacebar works. I need to bring up this again so I can actually see what I've done with my layers. Because obviously I haven't actually memorized my layers here, and so we're going to have to try and remember what my base layers are like. Let's just shrink that a little bit so we can see what's going on. Okay, so where's my enter? My enter is over there. There is my enter. Enter is working, and backspace is definitely working. Let's try a shift. ASDF, QRT. Now my num rows are working. I believe. Yep. Excellent. Now if I go shift, so my shift actually automatically does the numbers. I didn't have to program that layer 2 with the numbers, but it's good to know. If I go to my layer 2, which is now below here, we should have the numpad. So let's go down a couple of lines, and my layer 2, oh no, that was layer 1. There we go. Well, this is really weird. Trying to use thumb for enter is really throwing me off. So numpad 987654321 and 0. We have divide, plus, multiply, plus, minus, plus, and enter. Excellent. Now, what else am I going to test? Can't really do the, I can do an F1. Does it bring up the help? And it brings up the help. Excellent. So I'm kind of confident that, at least in that sense, the other F keys should work. And if we go to layer 2, I should be able to now use, there's my up, down, left, rights. Excellent. And let's see. There we go. Oh, because I haven't got the F2. There's my arrows. There's my question mark. My brackets. There's my quotations. Well, it seems like the whole lot is working. So there you go. You see how quick and easy it is to actually use Evangs TMK tool, which can be found on his website, minivan.config, thevankeyboards.com, and generate that hex file. And if you're using a Teensy at least, you can just drop it straight in just like that, and away you go. Now obviously if I don't like what I've got programmed here, I would just generate a new hex file and I would drop that one on top, and away I go. Nice and easy. Now I want to, don't save, show you, for example, on the Minorca, this is the standard layout, and you'll see he even goes to 6 and 7 layer depths. So these keys are all set for layers, and you've got different layers for different modifiers, layers 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way down, and you've got all these page up, page downs, and shifts. I'll tell you what, it would do my head in trying to remember that many layers. I'm just not that complicated. If you are though, this would be for you. And you can see, for example, on the minivan, he's got set up with layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, as well as, what's this one? That's a tap key. So I think a tap and a hold would give you a different response, same as this one. A tap would give you an escape, but a hold would give you the left shift. And there you go, it's got 3 layers built into it as well on top of the base layer. Alrighty, let's just turn that baby off, and that is my GhettoDox. Fantastic. What can I say? What can I say? I will probably try and get used to it a little bit. I will have to have this maybe side screen, or I might have to print it out, that kind of thing, laminate it and have it in front of me so I can try and figure out how to actually type with it, and we'll see how I go. The actual stagger on this is probably going to be interesting because it's ortholinear in the vertical plane, but it's staggered in the horizontal plane. So old dog, new tricks. We'll just have to play it by ear. Even if I don't, I suppose, get accustomed to it. It was a fun build, and I certainly learnt a lot. I would say an 8 out of 10 for an experience, for sure. And I was very daunted about being able to program this, and having this tool that I can generate a hex and then Teensy Loader, all my fears gone. All my fears gone. I do know that if you use a Pro Micro for things like, the Gherkin or the Let's Split, there's a little bit more effort involved in actually programming and loading it. I'm going to have to cross that river when that comes, because I do have a Gherkin, and I also now have a Let's Split coming as well. And, well, we'll see how I handle that when the time comes. And of course, it means either this cable is going to get a lot of use between different keyboards, or I might invest and get in a better cable. But for the time being, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's comfortable enough that I can, separate my hands out and take up the whole space of a full size, as you can see. And the tilt angles is pretty cool. I don't know if I would get a wrist rests of some kind, maybe some fat pads if I can get it cheap, or make some myself somehow. But yeah, awesome. Now I do want to close off by saying that I will be doing some giveaways of some 2016 Movember caps. I have talked about it as part of last week's The Board podcast episode, where we are currently just over 300 subscribers on this YouTube channel. For every 100 bracket, so 400, 500, 600, and 700, because I've got 4 caps to give away, we're going to do a giveaway of one of those caps. The giveaway will be, however, held via the podcast, so you will have to listen to them when we hit that bracket to find out details about those giveaways. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. I would really love it and appreciate it. Plus your likes, your comments, your shares. If you are already subscribed and you're one of our fans, help us out, spread the word, like and share and comment, and more the people, more the merrier. So thank you once again for coming along and checking out this video, my GhettoDox and programming it, and as always, until next time, happy clacking.